Good morning, I'm sorry. Good morning, everyone. Please rise for the presentation of colors and the national anthem sang by ordained minister and Southfield Police Chaplain Rosemary Allen.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star spangled banner yet wave o'er the land and of the free and the home of the brave,
Please be seated. Once again, good morning, everyone. My name is Shandira Dawson. I'm the assistant to Southfield Police Chief Elvin Barron, and we'd like to welcome you to our annual police memorial honoring our fallen Southfield police officers, Donald L. Harding and James W. McMahon. Just for your information, the restrooms are located just inside of the building. And after the ceremonial walk to the Southfield Police Memorial Wall just inside, coffee and cake will be served just inside of the first floor lounge. Now, I'd like to welcome Southfield Police Chief Elvin Barron.
And thank you, Shan. But let's give our minister and chaplain, Rosemary Allen, another round of applause for the national anthem. So as you all know, our theme today is never forgotten: respect, honor, and more importantly, remember. And so we're here to acknowledge our fallen officers, Donald L. Harding, and James McMahon. And so I want to start off by really acknowledging the McMahon family. So could the McMahon family please stand and be recognized? You know, it's very important that we have the support of our community, support of our elected officials who come out here each year to make sure that we put the right respect for our fallen officers, to make sure that family knows that we're committed to never forgetting. And before I get into my remarks, I do want to acknowledge some of our elected officials that are here and some of our other dignitaries. I'm going to start off with our Council President Ari Mandelbaum. We also have Councilman Charles Hicks. As I always say, my boss, the City Administrator, Mr. Fred Zorn. We have our Deputy City Clerk here. There she go, Ms. Kelda London. We have my good friend, Fire Chief Johnny Menifee. He's in the back. Along with Deputy Chief Tony Messias. And even our former Captain of Fire, Melissa Medici. Coming to us from Brownstown, the Chief of Police from Brownstown, Mr. Jeff Watson. We also have certainly a icon here in the city of Southfield, Jet, as we all affectionately refer to him. But his wife is here, his lovely wife is here, Miss Cheryl Thomas. Please stand and be recognized. Mrs. Thomas, forever a part of this organization. And again, she always shows up as well to support the McMahon family. So thank you, Ms. Thomas. Can I have my Chiefs Advisory Board members stand? Chiefs Advisory Board members. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Oh, I didn't see you over here. So we have another one of our council. Come on up here, Councilwoman. There's a seat up here. There's a seat up here. Yolanda Haynes, everybody. Give her a round of applause. There's a seat over here. And then we have members of our CERT. The city has our CERT team. Mr. Jeff Graff. Where you at, Mr. Graff? And then also we have representing the Southfield Lathrop Village Optimist Club, Mrs. Cheryl Timms in the audience. Ms. Cheryl Timms. And so hoping I haven't forgotten anybody, because you all know the rules. You forget somebody, you're the worst thing that happens. So I want to start off, as I always do. Each year I like to find some poems that I feel are fitting for this evening, or this morning. And then I was able to find two poems with the help of my great assistant, Mrs. Shandera Dawson. And Shan always needs to be acknowledged to help put this together and coordinate with this project. So Shan, please stand and be recognized. May it never be forgotten. May it never be forgotten as you patrol our beats that you are human too, simply protecting our streets. You close your eyes each night when you fall asleep, praying to survive the challenges we know you would meet. Your oath is very sacred. You are honorable and true. The uniform is sane, whether it's brown, gray, black, or blue. The morals and values that you represent are ones chosen by God. You must do your best to succeed, to shine in your job. The people of the community rely on you to protect. They may not always show it, but for them, they have respect. The dangers and the pressures that you face, you are present each and every day, and your thoughts and prayers are with you every step of the way. The support may seem very minimum from many people out there, but know in your heart that for the majority of them, one thing is very clear. You are a law enforcement officer, a cop, a brother or sister in blue. No greater respect can be shown for anyone like the respect they have for you. That's an unknown author. In my second and final poem, we remember the officers. We remember the officers who changed our lives, the men and women who protect us day and night, people who have respect for their dedication to the cause. For when faced with danger, they never even pause. We remember the officers who always stood true, whatever the color of uniform, with pride and integrity, they say, to serve and protect you. For the giving of their life, we offer our respect. We remember the officers who have ever really known. Persons strong enough to answer the challenge are few. With heavy hearts, we mourn the officers in eternal rest. There's more of these men and women than the badge on their chests. Again, unknown author. And so I'll close by, now we're going to recognize the men and women of the Southfield Police Department and police departments across this country during this National Week of Law Enforcement Dedication. So give these officers a round of applause. Matter of fact, give them a standing ovation. Please rise. Give them a standing ovation. Please be seated. So now I'm going to call up our Council President, Ari Mandelbaum, to say a few words. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. On behalf of the Mayor and the City Council, welcome to this memorial service for our officers, and also to recognize our current officers who every day go in the line of duty and put their life at risk to make sure that all of our residents and visitors in the city are safe. There's a Jewish tradition on the anniversary of a death in the family where you get together at the synagogue or at a home and you pay tribute and you honor that loved one. And we don't cry, we're not sad, but we celebrate and honor that person's life and their memory. And I feel that this is also a very similar program. We're here today to celebrate the lives of the two officers that were, unfortunately, their lives were cut short in the line of duty, serving and protecting our city. I know we call this a memorial service, but to me it's more of an honor service where we're honoring their lives and their dedication, as well as thanking all of our current officers and their families for what they do on a daily basis, whether it's on duty or off duty. I know that they're always out here protecting the residents and the visitors in the city. So with that, I just want to again thank the police chief. You know, one of the things we've talked about in the past is we moved the memorial or the shield from out of a little corner in front of City Hall to out in the open in front of the police department. It has more exposure. There's a bench. You can sit and admire the lives of those officers, and I think it's very appropriate that we continue to celebrate their lives every year here in front of the police station with the plaque. And I thank everyone for taking the time for this important program, for being here and to celebrate the lives of those officers. Thank you.
And I'm very glad that the councilman brought up the fact that we moved our memorial to the front of the building. I want to acknowledge someone who brought that idea to the police chief, Sergeant Jason Snyder. Give him a round of applause. He's in the back there. He's a man of little words, but a big heart, and we appreciate him for making our event even that much more beneficial. So now I'm going to bring up, as I always say, my boss, the city administrator, Mr. Fred Zorn.
Thank you, Chief Barron. I'm honored to be here to speak to this group. Today is about honoring and respect for those who every day serve, for our two officers who paid the ultimate price we're grateful for. You know, since the founding of our country, in the next 2 years, we'll celebrate the 250th anniversary birth creation of the United States. There's always been a need for order, that order out of chaos. What you folks do in that basic function, the most basic function of any government, is to protect, to create order, and to keep things together. In our own households, we have to have order. Without it, there's chaos. We live in a world where a lot of folks are telling us how we're different. Our police officers have to interact with people from all different walks of life, different religious beliefs, different backgrounds, different ideologies, and who come from different places. So in a community of 75,000 people, another 100,000 people coming to work here every day, and in a community where even more people traverse our highways, our police officers have those interactions every day. That's a tough, tough job. All of us should be grateful, and I'm grateful. I know the elected officials of Southfield are grateful. Again, without that order, there would be chaos. And, you know, think of some of the things happening in our world today. Israel is probably the best example, that chaos. Order, it gives us the peace to live productive lives, to be helpful, and to serve each other. So our police officers serve, protect, put their own lives on the line every day. We're all grateful. I'm particularly grateful, and for the work that they do every day. You know, I'm going to share a story, and I have two daughters, and I'm always telling them, if you're in trouble, you know, there's a police officer. You need to go something. I was a young boy, about 4 years old, got lost in Garden City, was out playing at my aunt's backyard, didn't know where I was. I had a stuttering problem as a child. I had a hard time speaking. And it was a police officer who picked me up at age 4 and let me sit in the front seat of the car, got me an ice cream cone, and somehow, you know, this is in the mid-'60s, folks, before cell phones and all the gizmos and gadgets we have. My mom and aunt found me, they saw me in the front seat of that police car. My mom tells my kids that story all the time. But, you know, the message is, you know, something so basic. And what it messaged to me, I mean, this was that point of safety, that solitude. And that's what, I think we're all looking for, not to have that chaos, to be able to just go through our life functions and know we're safe and secure and we're protected. So to our officers in Southfield, our leadership team, I'm grateful. I know the citizens are grateful, your colleagues that you work with every day. We're all grateful for what you do for you and all the police officers across this country. It's what makes this place great. So thank you.
And before we move to our guest speaker, I do want to acknowledge the leadership team here, because as I always say, I can't do this alone. I got strong leadership on each side of me. Starting with Deputy Chief Jeff Jagielski, please stand, who oversees our patrol, and also Deputy Chief Aaron Hughley, who oversees investigation. And again, thank you guys for being here. Secondly, I want to acknowledge Mr. Ron Jagielski, who served and retired with the Detroit Police Department. He's the father of Deputy Chief Jeff Jagielski. And so, sir, please stand to be recognized. Speaking of, loyalty, speaking of commitment, courage, what Mr. Jagielski did in his tour of the Detroit Police Department, he was shot in the line of duty. Fortunately, he had his vest on that saved his life and ultimately enabled him to create a family. Because when this incident happened, what I learned today, This is prior to Deputy Chief Jagelsko being born. And so one of the first individuals to be introduced to a protective vest saved his life, and certainly changed the law enforcement profession so that we now understand the importance of wearing our vests. And that man right there is who started that trend. So give him another round of applause. So we got our guest speaker. You already heard from her already with that beautiful voice. But our minister and our chaplain will now do our guest speaking.
Good morning, everyone. Uh-oh. Let me see if this mic is on. Hello, hello, hello. So, I am so grateful to have been asked again to grace this beautiful audience. And before I begin, can we just stand, everyone except the families, so that we can give a rousing applause to the Harding and McMahon families. We love you, Harding and McMahon families. Oh, yes, we do. And while we're thanking them, the chief has already done it, but I'm going to do it again. We have officers among us today, in and out of uniform, and other law enforcement present. So let us pause for the cause and also thank them with a hand clap, too. We know they do not want or desire this public recognition, but it's so well deserved, and what better time than National Police Week. This is what we do. Thank you. During National Police Week, we honor the unwavering commitment of officers who place the safety and security of others above their own, while facing uncertain dangers and confronting unpredictable threats. Yet they consistently respond to life circumstances while making split-second life-saving decisions. That is why these annual ceremonies are so important, not just out of habit, but a true meaningful occasion and testament to the officers who we honor today. Their legacies are etched upon our souls, and we stand in solidarity with these families as a token of our appreciation, because in the city of Southfield, with this police chief and the great team that works alongside him, this amazing city, along with our mayor, city council, city administrator, we are Southfield proud, Southfield strong. That's a hand clap. Through the years, I've gotten to know and love these families. And it is always bittersweet to stand before you on this particular occasion, but I'm often reminded that no memorial means no remembrance. That is why we cannot forget, because you cannot reflect and not remember at the same time. Impossible. Officers Harding and McMahon were men of honor, respect, valor, and distinction. This is who we give tribute to today. This is how we say thank you to their final call. Officer Donald Harding made the final call of duty in 1962 at the age of 27. 62 years ago, yet we remember. Officer James McMahon made the final call of duty in 1971 at the age of 25. 53 years ago, yet we remember. Both gone way too soon. These young men served their community as police officers despite the danger of what the job brought, despite knowing if they would make it home to their loved ones, despite the risk that the badge brought. Yet, they said yes. They both honored the description of a police officer, which might look like in a typical day, assisting in emergency scenes, responding to all types of 911 calls, other crimes, monitoring the roadways, and stopping cars that are driving erratically or speeding. Now, I know, I'm preaching to the choir, but I'm going to say it anyway. Police officers are the heart of our communities. They matter. They matter. Say it with me. They matter. Yes, and we need them, and we want our participation to be of appreciation and elevation of the fine work that they do. So today is about reflecting, reminiscing, and recalling the life and the memory of these two brave officers. Because when we honor them, it brings us together with the families to reassure them that their loved ones will never be forgotten. And as a community, it unites us as we become partners in this journey called policing. I'm reminded of the inspiring poem, Footprints in the Sand, where it says, "When you saw only one set of footprints, it was then that I carried you." So as a community, we are the footprint carriers for Officers Harding and McMahon. The end of watch call or last radio call for our heroes has been silenced. Yet, through the silence, we hear loudly the spirit of their sacrifices and the void that these families still share. Oh, those precious memories. Oh, how they linger. Oh, how they ever flood our soul. But in the stillness of the midnight, those precious memories will unfold. So may their memories hold light and darkness and joy and sorrow. So as we continue to support, encourage, and show kindness to one another, remember, life happens. And as the young folks say, life be lifing. And life continues to evolve. Yet we are soldiers in the fight to uphold justice. We may not all wear the badge, but we carry the oath in our heart because we are the wind beneath the wing of our officers. And that is why it is not a time to rest on our laurels, because we've got work to do. And I call that work, in the words of the late Congressman John Lewis, good trouble, but necessary trouble. So as we position ourselves to be the eyes and ears of our police department, thereby strengthening our relationship with them, that's good trouble. That's why I'm so proud to be in a city that has an excellent community policing component in the Southfield Police Department. Thank you, Chief. Yes. It really makes a difference. I'd say to anybody wanting to bring crime to this city, don't bring that foolishness here, because you will be got. We don't play. We will get you. So I believe we have a call to action that we need each other. I need you. You need me. Why? Because we are community. One big melting pot of a bigger family, because we are better together. The officer's 23rd Psalm says, "He makes me walk through streets of crime, but he gives me courage and peace of mind. He leads me in righteousness as he restores my soul. For his name's sake, he keeps me whole." I can only imagine what that reunion will be like when the Harding and McMahon families reunite on that glorious day. My, I'll tell you, families, that weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. And I'll say in closing, as I salute our fallen heroes, well done, our good and faithful officers. You fought a good fight. You kept the police code of faith. Now enter into your eternal rest from your final call. God bless the families of Officers Donald Harding and Officers James McMahon. God bless you. God bless our country, because we sure do need it. Yes, we do. Thank you, and I love you.
Y'all already know what I'm getting ready to do. That speech was so dynamic. One more round of applause. So we're now going to move into the next portion of our presentation. We're going to have the wreath presentation by Sergeant Ryan Losh. Sergeant Ryan Losh has over 23 years of police service. He began his career in 2001 in the Grosse Pointe Woods as a public safety officer in 2004. He became a member of the Southfield Police Department. Sergeant Losh has served Southfield in numerous capacities, including being assigned to the Patrol Division and the Investigations Division, where he is currently a sergeant overseeing the Court Services Section. Sergeant Losh was a member of the Tactical Crime Suppression Unit, a detective specializing in property crimes and home invasions, and a court service detective assisting prosecutors in case preservation for trials. Sergeant Losh is a longtime member of the SWAT team, joining as a counter sniper in 2005 and moving to the operating position in 2015. Today, he is a SWAT supervisor for both counter snipers and operators. Sergeant Losh is a recipient of the following commendations: 8 department citations, 3 certificates of merit, 1 Chief's Award, 4 individual commendations, 4 unit commendations, and 1 COVID citation. Give him a round of applause.